Hi, Jim Carson here from Bad Dog Mods, Orangeville, Ontario. Today, doing a little polishing demonstration, wet sanding, different compounds and tools, and I'm here with Adam. Good morning, Adam. How are you?
Good morning. Good.
Is there a worse example than a black F450 long box with a dual wheel and beat? Like beat. There are some serious scratches in here. We've already started before, I mean, look at that. How trashed is that? And you can see that we've left the fender to last. We've started a little bit of polishing here. Believe me, this was just as bad. You'll see some marks that are still in there. There's some deep scratches. We've done a little bit of polishing. We're going to go back with some specialized machines that I'll show you in a second. And those are going to wet sand out some of those marks, and we'll show you how we do that. Stay tuned. So here's our Sonax cart. Now this is loaded with mostly RUPES and Sonax parts in terms of Sonax for the actual compound polish. We'll go over that in a second, and some of their pads. So on the door here, Adam, we can see there's the polish. Show us the finishing polish is the yellow one there from Sonax, and also from RUPES. And we call that a polish as opposed to the compound that actually removes the defects. We have an assortment of machines. First off, this is the RUPES. This is 150 mil or a 5-inch machine. This is called the Mini BIGFOOT. This machine, they're both dual action, so they both rotate, and the random orbital as well. And this is a 3-inch machine. We'll show you the pads for that. This is the RUPES NANO, currently set up for these sanding discs, both 2000 and 3000. This is 3000 3M TRIZACT, obviously in the smaller size. This is the 3000. We have the wet sanding pads in 1500, 2000, and 3000. This is a RUPES microfiber pad, and this is that's a cutting pad. Wool pad, both sizes. For the Nano, there's a little 1-inch finishing pad for the little tight spots. That's a rough pad or a coarse pad for more difficult defect removal. The different sizes, 6-inch. We have a couple more machines down there. Both of those are 6-inch machines for larger areas. An assortment of pads. There's a lambskin pad as opposed to the wool. These are the intermediate face pads. That's for the sanding discs. The foam goes in between there. So we're pretty much set. We've got no excuses. We certainly have all the tools that are at our disposal. We'll show you how they work. And here's Adam with the RUPES Mini. This is after using the 2000 and the Scorpio, finishing it off with next step is the 3000. It's a progressive, smaller sanding marks. And they're later taken out with the finishing. The headlight allows Adam to see all these scratches. There's the Scorpio pneumatic and the 5-inch. And the smaller machine, the 1-inch machine, the Nano, allows us to get into tight, small areas. You remember all those defects, very deep scratches in there. They've been removed. We've polished it with a second stage, and we have, we polished it, the second stage. We're just going to finish it off with wax, but we've got most of all those defects out, and if we would go any further, we could risk through the paint, but it would also be hours more on this. This is absolutely acceptable for a 2017, 2018 F450. So we definitely notice here this paint on this fender, which is supplied outside the factory, is different paint. The 2000 grit sandpaper is really not making much work on it. So we're going to go to 1500. Be careful with 1500, and we're going to see if we can get a faster result because it's just not coming out the way we want it. Could be that the scratches are too deep, but at this point, if we can't fix it, it's got to be painted. So we're going to have to go one step further. Okay, 1500. Little spritz of water. Let's see if we can get this to slurry. Oh yeah.
We're getting more cut now. If you can see the concentrate on staying even here and flat. But you can see that now I'm starting to get a lot more, taking off more material. Let's see. Might be making some headway there.
Right. Making quite a bit of progress on this fender. This paint, as I said earlier, very, very hard paint, and it's just going through a lot of our sanding discs, but we're getting there, and the results are, as you can see for yourself, way, way better than what the abused paint that we started with. Adam's now working, finishing with the finishing pad from RUPES on the 3-inch BIGFOOT.
Okay, so there you have it. That's basically about 7 total hours of man work. This paint should have gone to the body shop, but she's a tough old bird, an F450, and if you remember what it looked like before, the acceptable result. It's a lot of man hours, a lot of work in there, but from stem to stern, this thing was just trashed. So good job, Adam, and thanks a lot.
No problem.
But this is wet sanding with 1500 and 2000 and 3000, depending on the spot. We used about 5 different tools from RUPES, and we used different compounds, pads, wool pads. We pretty much used everything in the gamut there, didn't you, Adam?
Absolutely.
Great job, man. For what we had to start with, again, this truck really should have been painted, but we saved it, and those scratches are pretty much all gone. Well, I'm Jim Carson from Bad Dog Mods, and once again, Adam Matkowski. Have a great day. It is for us.
Wet sand.
Black and
Yeah.
regular ones.
Yeah.
Well, I guess the March could show up.
Yeah.